Boom. All right. Because I'm not waiting. I'm starting because I'm back up again at 5 o'clock in the morning. So yay for me. Um, this is going to show you exactly what I just did in order to use ChatGPT as doing all of my credit work. Now, I used to own I still own a credit repair business. I don't do credit repair anymore. Personally, it's just boring as hell for me. But to be able to do it for yourself and to be able to get it to spit out things that actually work. And the difference between me and everybody else on the internet is I don't teach anything that's theory. All right. It's all things that have, I've already proven. It's already worked out. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to use ChatGPT to battle anything that's on your credit and get very, very, very quick results. Now I'm going to share my screen here for a second. Maybe. I remember where that is. I want to share what? Share the whole desktop. Thank you. Access your screen and audio. Well, I don't know what that message means, but okay. How to have your ChatGPT become your credit repair specialist. All right. Now, the backstory for this is on about the 18th, I ran my credit under IDIQ. Okay. And then I went into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT did the work, and I sent out the letters. Okay, obviously, certified mail, which were due to be received by the credit bureaus on the 24th. On the 25th, boom, deleted. Okay, because what we're going to give them is so much law, they have no wiggle room to send out another letter. All right, this was a bogus collection account that was appearing on Equifax. Okay, and I don't know if it doesn't show the date, but yeah, on the 25th it came out. It got removed, and bang, my Equifax score jumped 107 points to 788. Okay, so it can be that quick. And then on top of that, obviously, when you have a line that's open, okay, you can walk in and you can get additional credit from a bank should you so wish it. All right, which I did. I went into Truist and got another credit card. Boom. Which I just got this today. I applied for this on Friday, last Friday, and that came in today with this. So it's all good. My question is, do you guys really want bank funding? I mean, you get a couple $100,000 in bank funding, because you have stacked up some credit cards and, a couple of other type loans in there. All right. And what do you have? What are you going to put that to? What is your $1 billion idea? What do you have set up in order to have that start generating money? Yes, of course, you're going to put 10% of that away in order to pay the bill for the next year. But what are you going to have where it starts generating money? Because realize when you get it from the bank, okay, you have a payment due in 30 days, regardless of whether it's got interest or it's interest free. Okay, you still have a payment that's due, and that's going to come around every 30 days. So you want to have your plan together. And honestly, I don't know why most people want to get bank financing, because that just means there's a whole lot of money you need to come up with to pay out. When you can get money, free money to build companies, to buy companies, okay, and to build cash flow into your company, okay, and don't have those payments. And how are you going to do that? Well, you do it, in a number of ways by crowdfunding, okay, and doing other reg, like a 504, 506, a Reg A, okay. In a Reg A, you can raise $75 million a year from investors, okay, which goes into your company, which means you can buy companies, you can buy top people to run those companies, okay, and you can be off and running from a profitable get-go, all right, with a lot less wear and tear. And that money that comes in, and yes, they will get some stock in your company, obviously, and they may get a few other perks depending on how you design it, which is good for them. But it doesn't come with a monthly price tag that has to be paid back. So it's completely different, all right? Yet it's a whole lot easier when you want to buy a company to put it into your C Corp and produce earnings and produce revenue, okay, and hire people to run that so that you're not the one that needs to run it, all right? When you have money in hand, it's a lot easier to hire the top people in the world. Would you agree with that? I would. So if you agree with that, put a 1 in the chat. Yay. Cool. So, a lot more of that is going to be coming for those of you that are ready for it. Okay. Here's the key point. What you're doing in getting your corporation ready for bank funding is the same thing you need to do to get your corporation ready for crowdfunding or for investors. Okay. Your company has to be solid. All the information has to be together. Okay. And that's really what this exercise is. This is the light work, getting it ready. I know a lot of people have been in here from, the other place for a couple of years and not received any money, which to me is absolutely crazy. But, at this point, you should have all, if you've gone through the course, you've gone through the material in my class, should have all have numerous avenues of credit through different banks already to be able to get you funds to start a relationship at another bank. And that's all I use it for. All right. If I take out a loan at Bank A for 50 grand, okay, yeah, I'm going to put 10% aside and I'm going to use other 40 grand to spread between 4 more banks or credit unions to build those relationships to get things that I may need. I may not need them today. I don't want them today. Okay, but I continue to build those relationships. Okay, while I'm building crowdfunding to get that free money. I call it free money. I mean, is it work? Yes. Okay, are there things you have to do? Yes. Are there things that need to be paid for? Yes. Okay, same as in just building up your corporation. But overall, it's much easier. Okay, and you have less headaches. And if you can turn around and you can buy a $40 million company, okay, without going to the bank, that then produces sales, revenue, and cash flow into your C Corp, you are much better off. Would you agree?
Yes.
All right. So anyway, I'll let off on that at the moment. Okay, and I'll go in and show you exactly how you do this for getting your credit pristine. Okay, like I said, I started on the 18th when I pulled my report, and it was received by the credit bureaus on the 24th by certified mail. Problem was resolved on the 25th, and on the 27th, I was in the bank and got another big credit card that was just approved, or they just told me about today. So, or that's next month, whatever the corresponding dates are, but you know what I mean. Let me check over here for one quick second. Okay. Good. All right. So what you're going to need is ChatGPT, but you cannot use the free version of ChatGPT. Okay. You need to upgrade yourself. You need to add the one for $20 a month. All right. Quit being cheap, trying to get rich. All right. But when you move up to that one, you have a whole new brain to work with. Okay. And what we're going to do is going to add in you're going to pull your report from IDIQ. All right. And then why is this not, is this sharing or not sharing? Maybe.
Yes, I can see it. It says your credit card application is approved.
Okay, good. Yeah, because the other
Okay.
screen's got me, so I was threw me off for a second. You're gonna download your report from IDIQ. You know, you've looked at it. Now you download your report. And then you slide that report over into ChatGPT. Okay. And what we're going to do is give it this prompt. All right, which is going to give it all of the case law, all of the directions, all of the things that we want it to do. All right, in order to generate the proper letters, not the average, not the, just the run of the mill stuff. Believe me, the letters that this generates is nothing like anywhere else. Okay. And on top of that, I'm then going to give you a second prompt that I run behind this, which is what I call the examiner prompt. Which tells it to examine the letters you produced as if you were a CFPB examiner unhappy with the lack of corrective action taken on these illegal reports by the credit companies and rewrite them if applicable. So it puts it in a completely different mode, okay? And looks at the laws from a different angle, which is cool. And what I'm going to do is, because I didn't have time to move all this over to this, I'm going to go right to my ChatGPT. All right. And you can see how much it's going to pump out. All right. So we put in the prompt, and I'm going to add this prompt into the group. So you'll all have the prompt. Okay. But it tells it you're an expert credit repair specialist with advanced knowledge. Your task is to generate da 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 da, and it starts laying out the legal framework in that using the Fair Credit Reporting Act, 602, 609, 611, 623, using all of this, Metro 2 reporting standards and accuracy protocols, which most people, A, don't know about, B, don't use, and the ones that use it do not use it effectively. All right, as well as CFPB compliance and enforcement guidance, all right, which is a whole nother level as to their rules. And then we add in the case law that it needs to use. And this is just This is general case law of a credit repair, okay? And then it'll go into the disputes and the strategy by items, charge-offs, how it wants to do it. Charging the accuracy of the balance, boom, 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 boom. Breaking each one apart and finding each one that's a violation. Remember, every time the credit bureaus do this wrong, it's technically a violation. And when you start putting them on the spot with letters like this, they react much faster because they know they're close to getting fined, because they know they're dealing with somebody that knows more about the credit repair than the average Joe, who's going to be fined with that fluff letter they send out. We're glad that you took an interest in it, but we're not going to do anything about it. All right. It'll give it the requirements. It's going to give it the 30-day response rule. It will tell the variables to use, the outputs, okay? And then we're going to get into the individual ones. So if it's a late payment, this is what I want you to do. These are the applicable laws that you're going to use. This is the case law support when it comes to it. This is the strategy, okay? Boom, 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 boom. So you're making your ChatGPT much smarter because you're giving it all of the law. You're giving it all of the rules, okay? You're fighting fire with fire because when you send a letter to them, trust me, it's being answered by an AI. When you go to have a collections account, same thing. This is how you're going to do it. These rules apply. This case law will apply. All right. You demand for the proof of legal ownership, chain of title. The demand for the original signed contract, and the challenge of incomplete Metro 2 fields. All right. Boom. Because if they can't prove these, it has to come off, which you see how we do this later in the letter. Charge-offs, same thing. Hard inquiries, same thing. Oh yeah. And when I did this as well, then the two hard inquiries that I had at the time on TransUnion also came off. So, and that was all done and completed in pretty much less than a week. And basically for free. Okay. Is that cool? What? And you can go back and forth. You can put responses that you get back in. Okay. And here I give it the prompt to start acting like the CFPB. Okay. Boom. So you'll see what it comes back with. I would be happy. So we tighten this into what they fear most. Regulatory grade enforcement tone, zero room for automated verified responses, explicit demand for documentary proof, clear voice, da, 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 da. And then it starts to begin to rewrite your letters. Ding, da, ding, da, ding. Okay, now I'm going to go down here to the one I was talking about. Okay. Which was the bogus collection that was on mine that just came off, and then I got the credit card, as I just told you. All right, so you see it's CFPB level dispute letter, okay? Metro 2 violations, and it's giving you everything that it's using, all right? So when you do this, your letter's already written. You're good to go. You put this in an envelope. You copy it from here, the name, okay? And copy it down to the bottom of it. It's already got their information, their address, what it's about, okay? Who the creditor is, the account numbers as reported on your credit report, the balances, the erroneous information directly to their compliance department, formal dispute under Fair Credit Product. And here's what you're going through. Boom, 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 boom. Now it comes through with the Metro 2 accuracy. okay, and that it's not accurate. It's being coded simultaneously as a revolving credit, as a collection account, as 120, as 120-day late, and as closed by the creditor, all which are false. Each one of those is a fine, okay? If this were to go to court, each one of these is a fine they would have to pay, okay? So then it continues, and demand for the full documentation, all right? So they know you're not playing around at all. You want the original signed agreement or contract, the complete payment history or ledger, the date of the first delinquency, proof of the balance, accuracy. Okay, these are all things they have to prove. Many times they're not going to be able to prove it because they were not the original ones and they don't have this paperwork, but that's irrelevant. That's the law. All right. Now we're going to give it some more law for reinvestigation and how they have to do it correctly. All right, where the bureaus must perform meaningful investigations, not automated confirmation. Hence why we want the proof. They have to supply the proof of what they used. Okay, not just that it was verified. Furnish a liability for misleading reporting. Okay, if the bank is knowingly reporting or misleading improperly coded derogatory data, liability may attach under this act, which has already been through court, already won, and they know they'll get killed if that went against them. Deletion required if unverifiable. If you cannot come up with all of this proof that was demanded, you have to remove it. Again, the methods, who verified it, how was it verified, what documents were reviewed, okay? Not just the bank said you owe it. And again, you have 30 days to complete the reinvestigation and provide the written results. Failure to correct or delete this unverifiable derogatory reporting will result in an immediate escalation to the CFPB, State Attorney General, and FTC. Okay? And remember, don't say you're going to sue them. All right? But you're not. You're saying you're going to escalate it to them. There's a big difference. And then boom, it signs your name. And of course, you would add in, your driver's license, your proof of residency, and your social security card, same as you would with any other letter going into them. Okay, and send that certified mail, and your reaction time is going to blow you away at how fast it is. Okay, now the next strike, which is even stronger, which I also did, okay, is sending the same letter or type of letter to the bank itself or whoever reported it originally, whoever the problem was with, okay? And most times with this kind of letter, they'll just fold immediately, obviously, because it's exactly what they did, all right? And it'll continue to go down and give you all the reasons. They'll give you the next steps. Do you also want me to include an intent to sue? No, we're not going to sue them at this point, okay? So give you more information of what to do next, okay? Mail checklist, okay? Include everything in the envelope, the letter, copy of the license, proof of address, copy of the Equifax page showing the trade line, okay? Which is always good to do too, because you're immediately pointing out the problem, all right? And then make sure that you keep your certified mail receipt, okay? And then boom. And if something were to come back other than it was deleted, okay, you can make a copy of that letter and put it in here. And it will examine it and tell you what the next step is, okay? But more times than not, it's going to be eliminated because the power of using all of the law and Metro 2 combined, all right, you can see how potentially damaging this letter is to them. My voice is shot, so I'm not going to go on very long tonight, which is, I know, amazing. But if you have any questions, by all means, let me know what that is.
I'm a little under the weather too. My voice is leaving me. Yes. I knew about giving the AI the prompts, but I never thought about downloading my whole, you know, um credit report in there and then giving it the specialized prompts. Um Sometimes it doesn't kick back the exact right answers that you needed to. Um so that was definitely a gem. But you said that you were going to put the put the put the link in the chat to the actual prompts
You're
that
in
I
the
can
group.
use or no?
You're in the group, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll put them up in the group.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Because I'm not even sure if they would take it in the chat, to be honest, or in the chat, in this chat, and be readable, to be honest, because it's pretty long.
Okay.
So I'll put them up in there either tonight or in the morning, so that you have them available. But remember, you can't use regular ChatGPT.
No, I pay for I pay for mine
Yeah, so
monthly, and then I have my own CSIs, but not anything for credit.
yeah, and when you give it this much direction, they get
Yes.
very fine-tuned.
Yes.
And as well, the second prompt where it's now in the CFPB mode,
Mm-hmm.
the difference between the two, I really didn't show you the difference between the two, but the second letter is much more powerful when it came from that. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've done credit repair for a long time. All right. I don't think I've ever, I'm thinking now, I'm sure that I have never had something that was deleted off in its entirety. Okay. The day
Yeah.
after it was received from them.
Yeah. That's mind blowing.
Um,
Yeah. They usually give you a bunch of feeder letters and you know said they
yeah,
verified it, which they really didn't.
right. And with this, if they wanted to go that route, they'd have to show so much proof that they can't go that route.
Exactly.
So it's proven to be very, very effective. And then to take it one stop farther, I just went to the bank and got another credit card because now there was nothing on my Equifax, which Truist, it pulls from Equifax. So to make sure that there was nothing there, I went to the bank to get another card.
Try it
But
out. Mm-hmm.
where are you with your company now?
How far am I? I
Yeah.
just I just have the company. I don't have I haven't gotten a phone number or website or anything like that. Just the company and the EIN
Okay.
and an address
And an address.
and an executive suite address.
Okay.
So I'm
And
kind of working on it simultaneously with my credit and building the corp. Um I was looking up that I could possibly send a 609 letter, like
mhm,
this, not really disputing my usage, but I guess disputing that they can actually report my usage and that it's a violation. I can't remember the code. Um do you know if those work?
no, they don't,
Okay, yeah.
because it's
I kind of get a little bit leery of just sending things without, any proof because then it kind of sets you back in correcting your credit. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's because
Excuse me.
I'm fairly sure that that never became law.
Oh, a 609 letter. Okay.
Not the 609, but the actual verbiage for how much you had used,
You're
to be
actually
honest with
using
you.
it. Okay.
And being that it's used in 30 some odd different FICO reports, yeah, you know, I would go the other way. Okay. How much do you owe?
It's not much. I'm gonna go ahead and pay it down when I get my taxes.
Okay.
But if I can just get my usage down to, I would probably try to get it down to about 25%. Uh, it's probably less than 7,000.
Oh, okay. So you want to go open an Atlas credit card, okay?
Okay. Uh-huh. Yes.
Um, and email me tomorrow, and I'll find a link for you for that one.
Okay.
Atlas is not really a credit card, but it is a credit card that reports.
All right.
And I forget whether they give you a $3,000 credit line or a $10,000 credit line. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't give you $10,000 of credit. That
Right.
card is like a charge card, which is attached to your bank account. So when you use the card, 2 days later, they take the money out of your account.
Mm.
But it will report either a $3,000 or a $10,000 credit line.
Okay.
Um, uh, I'm trying to think of some more. S'mores. There's like 3 or 4 of them, and they all are elusive in my mind at the moment. That you can do the same way. Okay.
All right.
There's a phone system that I use that I can't use because I can't use it for a phone system because it's a VoIP. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So it wouldn't do any good if you were trying to get bank funding. All right.
Right.
However,
Right. Because they know about those already.
right. However, by me having an account with them, they give me a $7,500 credit limit. Shows a $7,500 credit limit, and I just pay $24.95 for the number a month that I don't use. But it's another line on it. And if you're,
So,
I mean, between those two, if it's
excuse me.
3 and the other one's 75, that's 10 and you only have 7. Okay. Your utilization when both of those go through, which are usually, on the next uh, credit statement from when you get it,
Uh-huh.
means that your utilization went from very high to very low and you haven't paid it down yet because you've
Yeah.
added that additional credit. So just a thought.
Yeah. Because I was definitely trying to do a workaround instead of just, and then, kind of like sometimes with the lump sum payment of your credit card, they kind of want to see it over time because then they'll kind of, I mean, I've had that happen before where I've paid down a credit card and then they reduce my credit. Um,
Well, you're going to see
so I didn't want that to happen.
more, you'll see more and more of that. And to be honest with you, it doesn't matter whether, whether you paid it down or not. If you were slated for them to do that because of whatever algorithm they used, it would
Uh-huh.
happen. It would happen either way. It's just when you reach that number, you know what I mean? So it's not by paying it slower is going to prevent them from dropping the credit line.
Okay.
Did that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. But don't pay it off. Okay. So if you owe
Yeah. Try to get.
$2,000, pay it down to 200 and just, play around 200 and pay a little bit of that off over time, but never pay it down to 0.
Oh, no, no, no. I wasn't going to do that. I was going to try to pay it down to like 20%, all of them across the board. Probably stagger it a little bit, maybe pay one down to 25% and one to 20 and one to 15.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then, well, ideally, you want to be under 10.
Yeah. I've heard the new number. So I was
Okay.
like, gosh, I have to go back to the drawing board and recalculate that.
Well, it's not so bad. Okay. Um,
No.
it's do that. You clean up your personal credit, and then
Mm-hmm.
use all your forward speed to get your corporation ready for the bank.
Right.
Okay,
And
and
then I
then
won't have to worry about the personal.
you can stack a couple of cards right away. All right, and give you more room, which you're going to have more um, more credit than your personal does probably. Okay. I mean, you're probably going to start off with a $20,000 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
the difference being when it's corporate, okay, you don't have usage. You don't have that.
Yes.
You can
Yeah.
go all the way up to 90%, okay, and it doesn't affect it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but more importantly in that, I mean, yes, you can get money from the bank, but what's your grand plan? What's your $1 billion idea? What's going to make this corporation money?
Um, I was looking into valuing the corporation with land purchases. Um, and then just trying to move in tranches to get more funding. But my ultimate plan is to create veteran housing, um, like co-living housing.
How does creating veteran housing equate into a $1 billion plan?
Well, that's just okay. So my $1 billion plan. I don't think I've gotten that far to my $1 billion plan.
That's what you need. I mean, I love the idea of veteran housing,
I
don't
mean,
get
I
me
mean,
wrong,
yeah.
but
Oh no, I know.
A, it's
Plan,
extremely
the $1 billion
difficult.
plan.
It's
Hmm.
extremely difficult from the bank and real estate to get money unless you have a very good track record is extremely difficult to get money from the bank.
Oh yeah, I would never tell them that was that. That's what I was doing because
Well,
I already know that's like high risk.
yeah. Um, and there are just so many better ways of doing it, depending. Now, I mean, if you can, come up with a way that helps the veterans in a way that can be a lot bigger than that, okay, then you go the other route and you use the free money. I mean, don't go to banks for money unless you have to, because you have to
Yeah,
pay it. There's a payment in 30 days due.
I know.
I mean, there's people that were in that group and they got seed money and, you know, excuse my French, just pissed it away
Yeah.
without, if you're not doing it, the only time you're taking money from the bank, okay, is like in your situation, which you don't owe that much, so I wouldn't even do it. But you would take a loan in order to pay down all of your personal stuff, okay, and only have one loan. And when you paid them all down, then you could move over and get the corporate credit.
Hmm.
Follow?
I mean, and I guess, yeah, and I guess just thinking like just how my mind works, thinking off the top of it as like $1 billion plan would be like, because I know they have like the 3D printing machines,
Mhm.
and I know like the tiny home craze is kind of a thing, um, with affordable housing and everything. So, I guess to get like plots of land and use the 3D printing to print the smaller homes, for veterans or people that are looking to downsize and just have their their little spot that they can afford, when things come crashing down. And then those just in different areas.
those printers will build some amazing mansions too.
Yeah, I mean, I know they will, and I mean, you just really only need like your foremen to, man the cement and everything, and then like your architects to design the homes. And so, yeah, and then it's just off to the 3D printing, just 24/7,
Yeah.
as long as you have someone to man the machines.
Well, that's a much better idea, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess I have those ideas in my head, but it's not like, I guess I'm just, yeah, it's not at the
They're,
forefront.
they're too big. You go, that's too big for me. No, it's
No,
not.
I don't. No, I don't think that it's too big, but
You know what?
I'm kind
You
of
know
not
what?
one of those people that just jump. So I'm kind of like a step by step person. So like I'm like, okay, let me start with this, and then then this is the next phase, and then this is the next phase.
Yeah, but the way you're headed, okay, is you either go for the pain or you go for the pleasure.
Yeah,
And when you're stacking payments, okay, you add stress. I don't care who you are. I
yeah.
mean, I'm in the process now of trying to buy a $40 million company that'll be, um, it'll ultimately get done through crowdfunding and reg filing, so it'll all be investors. But can you imagine the payment on $40 million from a bank to buy a business?
No,
It's
wouldn't
would
want
be
to.
yeah, it would be absolutely preventative, okay, and would not allow the company to grow as it's already growing, but it would stifle its growth. So, you know, there is a better way, and the banks have a use. Don't get me wrong, it has a use. But if you get a loan from a bank, you split that money up between four banks to start four more relationships,
Hmm.
four more credit unions, that are in line with the things that you want to do with your goal. And your goals may change and you may change banks. But your goal right now, in 3D printing houses for veterans,
Hmm.
um, there's huge money in building properties for low-income families and veterans. Huge, huge money. There are huge grants available. There are places
Yeah.
where um, uh, they will give you the property at what they call a nominal price, as long as you agree to doing everything that they do. And they have stipulations like you have to, renovate the house within 6 months and have it rented to a low-income family, or you have to begin building if it's a vacant piece of property by such and such date.
By a certain time. Yeah,
Um,
I know I've looked into like section 202, but
mhm.
you have to have a nonprofit to actually do that. And I'm not sure like how to set up the nonprofit. I have a
Yeah,
nonprofit, but I'm just not sure like how how to set up like the board members and all of that. I mean, I know you set it up like a corporation, but I don't.
nonprofits are good for certain things, but
Uh-huh.
you can do the same thing with a regular company.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have the reporting headaches that you have with a nonprofit.
Right.
All
Mm-hmm.
right, especially at the end of the year. Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, literally in a lot of areas, they will give you the property at a nominal price. When I say a nominal, you know why they call it a nominal price?
Why?
Because they're going to give it to you for $1,
Okay.
but they can't tell you $1. So they say nominal price. It's so crazy.
And I
And
believe those are nonprofits too that do that with the properties,
they're
that get the properties
non-profits.
and hold them.
Yeah, there's certainly are, and there's regular companies as well.
Hmm.
But the funds that are available to regular companies and regular people, not just
Okay.
not just, yeah, what do you call it?
The nonprofits.
Nonprofit, yeah.
You're right.
So,
Okay.
I mean, you can get, in some areas, you can get the properties for $1. All right. And then you can go back with, and I sat down with somebody who blew me away because I have never been, I flip a lot of land, I flip a lot of houses, I flip a lot of property. I have never, ever, ever wanted to look at low-income housing until I spoke to him, and he's pointing all these grants out. And he goes, yeah, he says, you get this here. He says, we get the land here and then we file for this. He goes, and then the city gives us $100,000. And then because this is going to be low income housing, we file for this one over here. And what they
Mhm.
do is, we're building, the building is a 14-door building, 14 apartments. Okay. I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, when we go in and file it, we get a different density rate because it's for low income. So that 14 now becomes 22 rooms. So we get to redesign the building, adding more apartments into it. Goes, chop a little here, chop a little there. He goes, whatever works. But yeah, you get a different density rating when it's low income. And then because they already know you're going to be renting it out at a loss because it's low income, they turn around and the government will pay you $100,000 a door.
It's like a subsidy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if I just got $100,000 a door on 22 doors, okay.
Yeah.
I can afford to take a loss for the 5 years until I'm going to sell the building.
Yeah. Wow.
The value of the building is still going to go up. I'm just not, creating all the rent in between.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm subject to where it has to be. And hopefully the next one is going to continue that, but that doesn't mean they have to, So there's a whole lot of money that can go into that configuration that you're talking about. There's all from the government, from the states, from the cities. There were 8 or 10 different grants of free money that he gets on every single property. The moment they close, they start getting for construction, for redoing it, for just, the fact that it was vacant land and
Mm-hmm.
the density rating is for a fourplex. Okay. Well, it's low income. So now it's a sixplex. Just that quick. And the density ratings change with where you're located in the country and what city you're near. I mean, they'll vary, but they all have them. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy all the hidden information out there.
But if you already know that your 14 room can now be 22 room, you just turn the dial up on that printer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and how much more was it? I mean, yes, there'd probably be some more materials, but
Materials, but yeah.
realistically, it's not going to be an overwhelming additional amount, I don't think.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And then you just keep doing that down the block or in different areas or, over here,
Mm-hmm.
or you do what I do. You go to the land banks and you buy up a whole bunch of land and then you just resell it. Boom.
Yeah, that's definitely an idea.
You can find some great deals at land banks. I only buy land now. I used to flip a lot of houses. I never want to walk in somebody else's house again in my life. I mean, things that I found and see, I just don't. I mean, people weird me out now, but so I only do land. And most of the land that I flipped, I've never even been to because I see it better on Google Earth than I would ever see driving up to it, looking at trees. But yeah, and then just keep honing in on that idea. But change your focus from trying to do this. You have to get your paperwork the same. Okay. But focus yourself on moving over to where you can do reg filings and get investors and not have that monthly payback on every dollar that comes into the company.
Yes, you've definitely given me something to think about.
Good.
Which I did know about that, but I guess I wasn't thinking it was for me right now to do a little bit more networking. I wouldn't even know where to go to, like, I mean, would I have to hire a SEC lawyer to try to get regulated and then find investors?
The simple answer is
Yeah,
yes, at some point. But there are different levels to where you can start before you need an SEC lawyer. Okay.
Okay.
There's different levels of being able to raise funds from both accredited and unaccredited investors to get started. Okay.
Okay.
Where you could raise like up to $5 million without a whole lot of costly paperwork. I mean, there's paperwork, yes, but costly paperwork is when you start dealing with SEC attorneys. I mean, they're expensive. All right. But there's a difference. Would you spend $25,000 for a private placement memorandum when you could raise 75 million a year with it?
I mean, of course.
Well, okay. Same thing.
Yeah, that sounds like a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, it does. But ironically, most people will never go that way. Most people will never go and use crowdfunding. Okay. You could buy think about this. You could buy a printing company.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay. And be its
That's
best
already in.
customer and be its
Mm-hmm.
best customer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, if you had your own printing company, I'm sure working in that realm with low income and veteran, I am sure that would open you up for all sorts of grants. Off the top of my head, I don't know any. I'm just saying, knowing what they give for housing. So, I think it's a great avenue for you to look into and pursue. And of course, lend me a printer when I need it. Wow, you weren't expecting tonight, were you?
No, I wasn't. I'm gonna build bigger and better. Think bigger.
Think bigger. Yeah, and I'm going to open up a section for certain people for a lot more in doing crowdfunding. Most people they're not ready for it. And most people I'm not even sure why they bought a corporation, to be honest with you. They mystify me sometimes.
I think sometimes people get distracted with what's out on social media. So like what the popular thing is to do or what people kind of glamorize. And the people who are actually behind the scenes doing it and making it happen, they're not out there on social media saying, okay, this is what you should do. Like they're few and far between. They're like a diamond it's like digging for a diamond. Like you'd have to have a bit of luck and hard work to find someone who even has that type of information
Oh, I
to
agree.
even give to you.
There's very few out there that have any experience at all other than watching somebody else's video.
Exactly. But I'm a firm believer that if I ask for it, it will come. If I search for it, I don't care if I have to search through, 3 or 4 or 5 scammers or spend money. That money was well spent for me to get to the person that I needed to get to in the end. or, you know, the company or the information.
Well, it's an interesting theory, but okay, I'll go with it.
I mean, because I have. I mean, that's happened to me. Like I've been looking. I like when I was setting up my trust. Like I was with this lady, and it was funny because like she was the first person that I heard talk about things like that. So you know, I trusted her. But then it didn't take me long to figure out that she didn't really know what she was talking about. She was just only maybe 3 steps ahead of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I would never, you know, say that I got scammed or, you know, taken run through the mill or anything like that because she was a stepping stone for me. I didn't choose to stay, you know, with the information that she gave me. I chose to move on to bigger and better. And I'll be, you know, eternally grateful that I actually even came across her to even put me on that, you know, road to even know that she didn't know all what she thought she knew, you know. So it's kind of like the situation where like the student becomes a teacher.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to appreciate all your teachers. I mean, because there's always someone out there who knows more than you. And
What sort of trust did you do? What were you trying to do?
it was an irrevocable trust, and she set up my irrevocable trust and 3 LLCs with it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Hmm. So there's this book out there that I wrote once, called Rice and Beans My Ass. And
Okay.
is all about when I set up my Rockefeller Trust
Uh huh.
and all of the parts of it and everything else. Um, you know, it's worth going through because that's much more involved trust. Okay. But I mean, I don't own anything. It all goes to the trust. And, you know, from there my kids and my grandchildren can use it. They don't
Hmm.
actually receive it, but they can use it.
They can use it. They're a beneficiary.
The
Where could I
beneficiary.
find your book? Is it still out or?
Yeah, it's still out. It was, um, I believe there's a link to it on the main page, XAQTE.com,
Okay.
XAQTE, um,
Hmm.
that goes to it. But yeah, it was, you know, I was telling somebody else who's like getting up there and he said, well, I should start thinking about it. I said, you better start running to get it done, dude. What are you doing? Because you just sold 60 acres of property off the wrong way and they're going to get killed in taxes. But, you know, they won't see any taxes because it all reverts. Mine um, is revocable until I die. So I can
And then
always move.
it converts to irrevocable. Yes.
Yeah, because I can always move things out if I need to sell them, like pieces
Hmm.
of property that sit into the trust, you know, so I'll move it out of the trust to sell it, and the new one will get moved into the trust.
Hmm.
Um, but it's a lot easier to do it that way than selling it in the trust. In those, in that particular kind of trust, which is crazy, I think, because the rest of mine are in different trusts. I don't keep anything in mine. They're either in trust or LLCs.
Hmm.
Um, and most of them trust just because I'm a cheap bastard. I can kick those out all day long on my computer and then I'll have to pay for them other than somebody to come by and put the notary on it, you know. But I'm liking your idea.
Thank you.
I'm liking it. Buy a printer. How much is a printer? Any idea?
I looked them up probably about 3 or 4 years ago,
Mhm.
and there was just like one or two companies that were like actually selling them. But I guess you can put in like your specifications of how you want what you wanted to do or how much cement and things like that you wanted to hold. But
Mhm.
I know at that time they were like 400,000. Like the baseline was like 350. So, but I'm not sure what's going on in the game right now because I mean it's quite a bit of that going on now. I mean it's kind of caught on a little bit more.
Mhm.
And of course, you always have inflation and supply and demand. So it could be, I'm sure it's much more now.
Yeah, but you also don't have labor.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, that number is, I mean, even if you had to pay 500,000, um, you just have to think about how much money it'll actually generate. I mean, because how much are you paying a construction company or trying to find a construction company? But yeah, I liked your idea about, actually just buying the business that's already in the business of what I want to do.
Yeah,
And then
that's,
me being its biggest customer. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you, and it's very easy to do. Okay. And once you realize that you can get free money to do it, it's even easier. It's just work, but if you can get an existing business and have cash flow from day one, piece of cake, piece of cake. There's nothing you can't accomplish. And even before you have it, there's a ton of people that um, can be hired to run it if you were not the one to run it. Okay. If you were not the expert to run it, that you can get that are willing to come on beforehand.
Uh-huh.
And because it's about to happen. It's about that, because, you know, when it's a sexy story like that, people want to be on it.
Yeah.
And investors want to be a part of it. And you're helping out an area that traditionally everybody
It
says they
pulls on
want to help and goes the other way.
yeah, yeah. It pulls on people's heartstrings, but are you really doing anything about it besides giving the veteran a couple of dollars at the stoplight? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're going to build for veterans, and it ends up being luxury high rises. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen that over the years. So, but I do. I like that idea. Let me know. Let me know.
I sure will.
Let me know. I give you a 24-hour head start to find a company before I start looking. Because who knows, where did Amazon start?
In a garage selling books.
Where did Facebook start?
In a garage. No, in a college dorm.
In a dorm room. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So
and then I'll tell you quick story. These brothers, Spence brothers, I have to check their name. That may not be correct. Something like it. Spencer, Spencer. Anyway, three brothers. Okay. And way back when they're in Germany and they copied eBay. It's an exact copy. And they did a clone of eBay's site, but they found that the market in Germany was different than in America. So
mm,
they twisted certain things to make it very, very easy for Germans and da 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 da. And the long and short of it is eBay bought them for millions and millions and millions of dollars.
hmm.
So they went on and they built a clone of Facebook. for Germany. And I forgot what
Hmm.
the name of it was. Okay. And initially, they got notified that they were being sued by Facebook. And at some point, Facebook realized that what they had done in Germany was quote unquote brilliant
Right. They
and
already did the work.
gave them billions of dollars for that one.
Uh-huh.
Um, and there were two others that they've done. Same thing. And all of them have been, multi-billion because they took something that works, but they found a way to make it work better in a different market and made it extremely profitable. So, you do that with printers, won't be any homeless vets anymore.
It'll just be a waiting list for when can my home get built.
Well, yeah, it's unfortunate as it is, but I have one guy that is like the only guy I give money to at a corner. He is a veteran. Every now and then he's got his vest on. But he's standing there with a sign that says, "Not gonna lie, need money for beer, too short to be in porn." He makes me laugh every time I go by, so he gets money. I mean, sorry, it was the entertainment value, dude, nothing else. I can't help it. But yes, or then you just, if it's not that idea, then you just find another way to work the idea, you know what I mean? But there were eight different grants that he gets on every single build when it's for low income.
Man. I've heard about that grant world.
And they're, how do I say this? They're grants you can get. They're not like,
Right. Like you have to hire like a grant writer or something.
yeah, it's not like, you have a 1 in 10,000 chance of getting the grant kind of thing.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
It's like if you put in for the grant and your information is good, you'll get the grant.
Mm.
I'm sure there's a real term for that. I have no idea what it is, but I should probably know it. Yeah, and it's amazing. And I will, you know what? Where is it? I just sent his stuff to somebody. Hold on a second. I'll tell you the guy's name.
Oh, he's in the group?
No,
Oh.
no, I wish. I do, I wish. Let me see. Okay, well, suddenly everybody's name looks the same in my phone.
You should put little notes in there. And then when you go into your contacts, you can when you go into the search bar, all of those names will come up.
Mm. Yeah, but he wasn't in mine. And
Oh, okay.
I sent his information to someone else.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to look over here after doing all that and finding out that I didn't do it in my phone. I did it on the one in the company. So remind me of that tomorrow. I'll look because I'll forget. I'm not even going to kid you. I'll forget that by morning. So remind me.
Okay.
And I'll find it in where I sent it and send you his name at least. Because I mean, I'm generally not very impressed by most people. And I got to tell you, he impressed me with his abilities and being able to get properties for $1 and then get them all funded by the government and the whole project built out and then get $100,000 a door. I was like, huh? Back up, what?
Wait, come again?
Yeah, I mean, he's making a fortune building low-income housing. Much more. And I'm like sitting there and it's going through my head and I'm like, his margins are 1,000% better than people that are building luxury places. I'm like, this is crazy. A lot of which, because the government of them $100,000 a door, which still blows me away. So, but I will find it tomorrow. Yes,
Okay. And I will email you tomorrow to remind you.
I appreciate that.
And your email is in the group. Can I just get your email really quick? I'm sure I have it.
Yeah. Turn this off. You can send it to my personal one. Is Buckaloosa, BUCKALALOOSA @gmail. Because tomorrow is my killer day. I got to go do radiation and chemo again tomorrow.
Oh, have you ever heard of this guy? His name is Yaki Awaken. I know he helps a lot of people with like chronic disease um through like juicing and lymphatic massage.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Excuse me, I'm so under the weather. Um, I mean, he'd be
I
good.
haven't heard of him. I mean, I used to do a lot of juice and we used to have a spa and I've done so many things right for so long that in getting what I got, I was like, yeah. But
He's
I'm indestructible, so this too will pass. It'll all be fine.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's definitely half, I would say half of it is mental. Definitely.
I be honest with you, I don't have time for it. I don't have time to be sick. I
Mm-mm.
tell this to my doctor all the time. I'm like, dude, come on, hurry up. I don't have time to be here every day. And do all this. And he looks at me like I'm out of my mind. I said, it ain't gonna kill me. So just do what you got to do and let me out of here. Let me go. It's been too long since I've had a cocktail or a vacation. So you're pressing your luck. And he just laughs. But I'm serious. I've not had a cocktail since September. So crazy.
Well, that's probably my regular speed now.
Well, it's
Like right.
not like I was, I'd have some here, I'd have some a little wine with dinner,
I know. Yeah.
you know, which I would not mind going back to. Of course, I would also like to have my taste buds back so I could taste it. But they tell me those are coming soon.
Yeah. You regrow taste buds every 10 days. That's why most fasts and detox are usually 10 days because they regrow every 10 days.
Yeah, but they drop me in for a day of chemo every 7.
Yeah. So they don't get a chance to regenerate.
Yeah, the moment you think it's getting close, boom, done.
Mhm. Yeah.
But it's what, another 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. And then hopefully it's completed. or I'll self-medicate on an island in Tahiti. Sounds like a much better idea at the moment.
Or
Yes,
at an
indeed. Get your company done, though.
yes,
Stop,
I'm on it.
stop playing around. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Atlas credit card that
Yes.
you need,
Oh yeah.
you need to do that. The I gotta find that other inside the group somewhere. There's a list of 4 or
I could
5.
just go in. Yeah,
Yeah,
I could just go in there and put Atlas in, and then those will come up, maybe.
maybe. I know I put
Okay.
it in there at some point. But yeah, those are a big help because it'll knock your utilization down real fast.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
the sooner you can start building, you want to get everything done with the company, and then you want to build the little baby accounts to start building up his credit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have you done the NAV yet?
No.
Okay. Well, you're going to want to do the Experian business. So that starts reporting, on the credit for your company. And we'll, by doing the Experian business, we'll kick off the Dun and Bradstreet without having to pay Dun and Bradstreet.
Right.
So those get started. And then you can, get the little accounts, the little 30-day accounts for the corporation. Once you have everything ready to go, to build those up. You don't have to get massive stuff, but you need to build all that up, not to go to the bank, to go to the free arena. And, I'd rather play in the free arena.
Where the people, some of the people had, well, no one has more money than the bank, but it's not as much stipulations,
That's not true.
restrictions,
That's
restrictions.
not true. Okay. The banks are a dying breed.
Mm,
You saw what Trump just did, right? He took
no, I haven't heard.
he took all the money from our new partners in Venezuela. So all the money from the oil that came out of Venezuela did not go into our banking system. He moved it all to a secure bank in Qatar. Totally
Hmm.
bypassing the Federal Reserve and all of its crazy restrictions that they would have put on it. So BlackRock has more money than banks. And that's just
Yeah.
one. I mean, there are tons of them and tons of billionaires that have nothing but money that fund ideas. And it's not whether it's going to work. They like the person, they like the idea, they like the story. Let's see what happens. And they might fund 500 of those a month. And something's going to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who is in investment banking, and he does seed financing, which is kind of what we're talking about in Boom. All kinds of companies, if he likes the story, if he thinks you're credible and he likes the story, he'll do it. He doesn't have to read anything. It's all in the relationship, all in how he feels when he meets a person.
I can see that.
And he doesn't have to review anything. I'm not saying he's never gotten hurt by doing that, but that's just how he is. Been very, very successful, to say the least. he's more trusting than I am. Anyway, this has been wonderful chatting with you.
Thank you. I've got a lot of information. So I will email you tomorrow. Um, and then I'm gonna check inside the oh my goodness, the word is slipping my head.
Thank God I'm not the only one.
You're not. You believe me, you're not. You know, when your brain has 1,000 things to do in one day, it's hard to keep it all together. Inside the
What do
inside
you
the
do for
app.
work? Oh, okay. What do you do for work?
Oh, right now I'm just I'm not gonna say I'm just, but I work in security cameras.
Oh, okay. Cool. Um, nice.
But before, I live in Texas, and I've been here for about 9 years. I moved from Illinois, and out there I had my own salon and spa. But when I came out here, I didn't want to retire behind the chair. So this job just helps me kind of just stay above water while I'm pursuing other things and getting other things together.
Yeah, what part of Texas? I used to buy a lot of property
The,
out
Hu-
in Texas.
the Houston area.
Okay.
Hmm.
My least favorite.
Well, I'm south of Houston. I'm not in Houston.
Yeah, my God, the traffic around that area is
Yeah, no. My daughter lives in Houston, and I'm like, girl, either I'm driving early in the morning, or late.
but my friend lives over there outside of Houston, probably one of the most beautiful areas in Texas. Of course, I can't think of the name of it right now.
Is it northern Houston or
It's
east west?
north of Houston, a little bit.
Spring or Conroe or Woodlands or
I think it's the Woodlands.
yeah,
Woodlands.
the Woodlands. Yeah, they're their own little community.
Yeah, yeah, it's a crazy place. Kind of like Stepford Wives, but it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. They have their own shopping centers, like they never have to go out of their neighborhood and be touched by the peasants.
Right. Yeah. There's days when I feel like that's where I should be. I mean, it's amazing. But yeah, and then, you just keep building. Go to land auctions and buy land. You ever
Yes.
done that?
No, my daughter does that. She goes to the auctions and does the land thing.
And what does she
We're
do
kind
with
of
her?
trying to
What does she do with her land?
she either sells it or then puts it into her corporation for valuation, but we're kind of both in the same boat. We're trying to get our credit together and build our corporations at the same time.
Hmm.
So
She out and out sells it.
I'm sorry, say that again.
When she buys them, she just out and out sells it.
Sometimes, most of the time, she retains the mineral rights. So,
Oh, okay, yeah. But the property, when she sells it, at one time, or she sells it over time.
she's done both, but most of her customers, they just buy it outright.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Most of mine turn around to become monthly checks.
Yeah. She had a few people who financed through her.
Hmm. Um, which is great because, those checks can go on for a long time.
Hmm.
And well, that's another story for another time.
I
Buddy
guess
of
the
mine,
default.
a buddy of mine taught me that, and he's collecting over 450 checks a month. Not him personally. He actually has a company where they all go to, and then he gets one check, but they do all the paperwork and all the emails and all the reminders. But he's up to 450 checks that come in from properties that he bought from land banks.
Mm. That's what that's kind of like the new landscape for real estate, like, like just waiting on that monthly check, from a renter.
Mhm.
I don't know, are you familiar with slow flipping?
With what
It's
now?
where it's called slow flipping, where you like go to the auctions and you get the real estate, and then they it's basically like oh gosh, the word is slipping me. Like owner financing or subject to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So yeah, you go get the property at the auction and then put someone in there who wants to buy it. And then they're responsible for everything. And then you just keep up with the taxes and the insurance in case something happens. And then it's like you're not really their landlord. Well, you're like the bank,
Right.
and they just pay you every month. Yeah.
I used to do that with pre-foreclosures that I took over.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was all great. At one point I had, um, 21 houses in one town that none of the mortgages were in my name, but, um, it was all good until somebody was not going to pay the rent. Then life started to get tingly. Yeah. Because me, I still got to pay the mortgage. I'm not somebody who's going to hang it out, but so eventually, yeah, I sold all of those because, I didn't like that feeling where one or two of them could get berserk and all of a sudden you were upside down. But they made a lot of money.
Hmm.
But
So you said that you would put those the links to the chat GPT prompts, you're going to put them in the school.
yeah, I'll put them up there.
Okay.
I will do that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good talking to you tonight.
You too. Appreciate you.
Have a good night.
You too.